Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Energy update. It is Tuesday, March 14th. I have spent quite a bit of time sitting with spirit and having some chit chats. Something really interesting popped up with me. Good morning. Hello, coming and good morning. Oh, you missed me. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. I wasn't able to hop on yesterday just due to my schedule. So I am a day late coming on, but better late than never. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in and have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Hello. Hello. I've had a very, very interesting chit chat with one of my guides. So I've talked before in a previous video about one of my spirit guides called Estrid. She is a Viking spirit guide. She came to me a few years ago when I was out on a hike, and she came with a dragon, and she navigates some of the hard stuff with for me on my journey, some of the hard stuff that comes up, and she likes to show up when I really, really need to pay attention. When she shows up, I know I need to sit up straight. I need to grab a pen and I need to listen. So I just wanted to share with you what she spoke to me about and what is happening collectively with some energy. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see some of my notes here because I did take quite a few notes. Coming into we're in the middle of March. A lot of shifts going on. I've talked about energy shifts and for a while now and what it looks like for this calendar year. We're coming into a closer space into the equinox. Spring is right around the corner. A lot of new things are coming, and I've talked about that before. But what Estrid said to me, and I literally got like that spiritual goosebumps go running throughout my whole body, is what she said to me. Is she said, Lana, it's time to hold your nerve. And when she said that, I was like, hold my nerve. Oh no, but no, hold your nerve. Energy conservation is your superpower, and that message was collectively for all of us. We are coming into a big shift energetically. It's been gaining momentum and gaining momentum. I have felt it gaining momentum. Some of you have said here in previous lives that you are feeling these shifts. But what's coming forward with us is a lot of newer awareness, a lot more downloads, and conserving our energy is going to be really important. And it's not a bad thing. I didn't feel like it was a bad energy. I just felt that with all the new shifts, a lot of our roles are going to be changing. Some of you may be experiencing just new changes at work, new changes in your personal life, new roles. We need to purge some of the old stories that we've been telling ourselves. We need to purge a lot of that and conserve our energy with a lot of new things. So what did she mean by that? Leaning more and more into that spiritual space within you is going to be very significant and very helpful as we unravel and purge, and this new revealing energy that's coming in kind of starts to become very much expansive. And if we don't start conserving our energy, if we're putting energy into things that are no longer serving us and not conserving it into for things that are coming up for us in those new things, we're going to find ourselves feeling very chaotic. And if anybody's been feeling a little bit chaotic lately, if you just feel like there's all this chaos or you're struggling with the chaos or all the physical world noise around you, you need to start conserving that spiritual energy. Ways of doing that. And it's very, very simple. I've talked about spiritual practices before, leaning into meditation, leaning into some gratitude, leaning into some peace and quiet time. And it really is going to kind of help us through this new piece of us. We are coming into some new timelines. There's going to be, and this part isn't necessarily for March, but this calendar year, there's going to be a lot of truths unraveling. There's going to be a lot of truths within us as well as collectively unraveling. And we're going to be shifting into that. And in order to be able to stay with that momentum, we need to go back into that superpower of conserving our energy. So, if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling like it's a struggle to keep up, if you're feeling overwhelmed, what Esther is saying is take a look into what are you doing to conserve your energy, your spiritual energy. So we tend to be fairly good overall, most of us, at our physical stuff, right? We kind of we're aware of our physical body. When something hurts, we get it checked out. If we're not feeling well, we start to take better care of ourselves physically. But the superpower that we are going to lean into more and more and more is going to be our spiritual superpower, and it's going to be coming in very, very loud and very clear. Listen to that physical body, because sometimes it's energy that's asking you to kind of slow down, make some time for yourself. That increased in that self-care, little bits and little bits and little bits, because you're going to be called on that. And I think when I kind of even look at myself, um, I am very much aware when my spiritual gas tank is a little low. This doesn't mean that there's bad energy coming at all. It felt very good for me, but it's like this: sit up and listen to what you're low on. If your superpower is gas tank is on a quarter tank, it's time to top it up. Um, I'm just going to see if any of this resonates with any of you here, Bianca. I've been feeling weird, but feeling like I need to shift my focus in daily spiritual practices. Bam, there it is, Bianca. 100%. Listen to that. I'm pretty good at listening at my spiritual practices. There's always room for growth and development. 100%. But when Esther came to me, and like I said, a few minutes ago, when she comes to me, it's because it's really, really time to listen. It's really, really time to purge some of that old stuff. It's really time to start listening to those new stories, those new opportunities. There's going to be a revealing energy coming in. Some of the channeling that I did for April and I'll share more of that as we get closer to April. But some of the stuff that I've been channeling for upcoming months and for the rest of this calendar year is going to be revealing energy. Now is a glorious time to be here in this physical world, to be able to step into new powers, to step into new roles, to step into change, and to work on ourselves that way. One thing that we often struggle with here in the physical world is we do struggle with resistance with change. Many people don't like it. Many people struggle with it. Change often brings a lot of unknown. We don't have those answers, and us humans love to know the answers ahead of time. We want to know that we're okay making that change and making that shift. But we need to start leaning in there, because more and more new revealing energy, more and more truths are going to be coming in, more and more shifts are coming in. There's going to be many more people that are going to be kind of thinking, well, that's not what's being revealed. And I felt that. I thought, isn't that an interesting truth? I also felt that some of these truths were coming from outside resources. So I think there's going to be some truths, politically. I think there's going to be some things coming out that way, that there's going to be truths, because I felt that collectively from the collective energy. I just felt that big breath in of, I didn't even see that coming. Building your own inner reserves is going to be very important to help us all navigate it. And it's not a bad thing. We need to kind of transform. We need to kind of come into a new timeline. We need to kind of shift in that momentum. And it's time to claim it. It truly is time to claim it. I'm just curious if any of this resonates with some of you. Let's just scroll back up. Good morning to all you coming in. See if anybody else has picked that up. I've been watching her since you mentioned her only when I catch her on lives. Okay. I'm feeling weird. Yeah, I read about that one. Um, Lately, when it's been going good, there's something that tries to knock me down, leaves me confused with wondering what spirit needs me to know and doing at this time. Sometimes, Danielle, it's about the lesson and the learning how to navigate through things. I feel like I have to kind of give you that piece. It's about, okay, this happened. I got to learn how to navigate through that. Life is going to happen. We all know that. Like, I mean, things happen to me and I'm like, why? I'll look up and I'll literally go, why? And it's about learning how to navigate through those shifts. And I think that sometimes we kind of lean out when things get a little rough or a little rocky. I've had a few of my mentoring students say, this has come up for me, I don't understand it. And I always say, Bianca, look for the lesson and put on your, like, that student role of, okay, I'm learning this right now. I'm learning this right now. And what happens is it kind of shifts us out of that lack of, or kind of shifts us out of that space of of it being hard and difficult when you kind of shift it into what am I learning? Kayla, I resonate with all of this. Oh, that makes me happy. There should be bits and pieces that resonate with you if I'm channeling it as a collective. So I'm glad that it's hitting some of you. Easy Puff, that's exactly what I've been feeling. Just chaos. And so much I've not been able to clearly tell and where and what exactly I need to focus on to clear that chaos. Okay, so Easy Puff, come back into energy conservation, come back into where am I putting my energy, and this is a very good point as well. There are things that I'll use myself as an example. There are things that I won't put energy into. I will conserve my energy. I it is what it is, and I can't dance in that space. I can only go forward from where I'm standing. So I won't put energy into certain things in our lives. There are some things that I won't put energy into. Right? I can't. I just it doesn't serve me to. And when you think of some of the topics that people may talk about, I'll use fear as one. I cannot put energy into fear. It doesn't serve me. It affects me. It affects my spiritual well-being. It affects my physical well-being. So I won't lean into there. I will conserve my energy and put it somewhere else. So, that's just a really easy example because there is a lot of fears out in the physical world. Some people are living in that momentum, and I just can't. So, I step back from news feeds. I step back from things that no longer serve me, and I conserve that energy and I put it into something else that I can shift. I can shift certain things, but some things I can't. So I hope that resonates with you there, Easy Puff. Just take a look at where your energy conservation is, what you're putting energy into, and stepping back from things that you're not meant to dance in. And that's one thing that I have heard a lot from spirit is I'll say like this is going on and I've been trying to navigate through it and trying to navigate through it, and spirit will say to me, you're dancing in something that's either not yours or you can't change. So take a look at that, Easy Puff. The energy chaotically is often we participate in that too, and I've often sat with that. Am I an active participant in this? Where am I in all this? And it's okay to step out of it. And I think we sometimes need permission. I think sometimes we have to put down any guilt feelings over that. Is I just need to step out of this, and stay in that space of energy conservation. Um, make sure you hit the like button. Thanks, Danielle. Every month I've been journaling of what I've learned, and this month is related to energy and what I'm putting into. There it is, bam again, especially career-wise and certain personal relationships. A lot of shifts in relationships have been happening over the last couple of years. And when it comes to shifts in relationships, remember, and this is often hard. We struggle with letting people go, and we often will struggle with letting new people in. I think that what I learned first was I learned that I need to let people go. Also contracts are not lifetime. But I think sometimes based on our experiences, I think sometimes we then hold people back, right? It's like, nope, nope, nobody's getting in, no one's getting in. And when you think about the different versions of you, we have different relationships with different types of people. Like there are people that I can laugh uncontrollably with. I can laugh until I snort or my belly hurts. And there are some people that space just isn't as open. There are some people that you can share with and some people that you can't share with. But I think that space in between all that is relationships, and people change because soul contracts shift and soul contracts end. And we struggle with that whole letting people go and letting people come in, letting people go and letting people come in. And it's one thing that I have learned is that the physical world has many different teachers for me. And that perspective changes the outlook on things for me. So if let's just say I'll use Bianca as an example. Let's say I meet Bianca and there's some turbulence in our friendship. Rather than lean into anger or anything like that, I just lean simply into what did she bring me to learn. What did she bring me to learn? And it just shifts that because nothing's by chance, nothing's by coincidence. She came to me with something to teach me. And sometimes the lessons are hard. It's very easy when the lessons are easy, right? It's very easy to when things are easy and things are in that vibrational match and things are flowing. But I always pause and say, what did that person teach me? Sometimes they're teaching us what we still need to work on. right? And I kind of lean into that, and I kind of lean out of that whole space of dark. Right? Sometimes we're the teacher as well. What did I give her to help her on her journey? What did I give that person to help them on their journey? I hope that that resonates with you. It is chaos is a very different a difficult vibration to step into, but what's the universe showing you? Sometimes the vibration of chaos and all this energy is coming at you to kind of teach you, where you need to step back from, where you need to kind of work on your own spiritual practices, where you need to kind of pump up that space, your superpower is within you. And Estrid was very clear on that the last 2 days that I've been sitting with her, which is very interesting. um you're very welcome, Easy Puff. uh I'll be practicing paying attention when it comes to situations. I'm doing that. Yeah, it changes the perspective when you lean into that a little bit. It really changes the perspective. And and everyone is teachers, absolutely. And sometimes, I always look at, when am I the student? I'm learning something here. And and yeah, learning is not easy. Sometimes learning is difficult, but I'm learning that. I'm learning that. It's how you lean into that. And that in itself, your perspective, your shift in perspective, it does help build up that superpower. It does help build it up. It's a simple shift of the mindset. So true. It's so much easier than we think. Absolutely. I think, sometimes, quite often, myself included, we can lean into taking lessons very, very personally. Right, we can lean into that taking things really, really personal, and sometimes that lesson is simply that, is taking that look in, taking that time to process. Sometimes it's about the other person, and it's just about leaning in there a little bit more. So I do hope that that makes sense to you. PJ, I'd love a message today from my beloved cat Bernie. Do you see us with a past life together? PJ, when I lean into Bernie's personality, I almost don't feel like a cat. I feel like I have like this wise old soul. Animals do have wise old souls, but I feel like there was just this deep knowing with this cat. I felt like you knew what this cat needed all the time, and this cat knew what you needed all the time. But I also feel a lot of energy exchanges there between you and Bernie. I just feel so strong that there was a lot of energy exchanges. I do feel that you have journeyed before with this cat, and I also think that the roles were reversed, which is very interesting. I think the cat was human and you were a pet. But I don't think you were a cat though. But I do feel that there was a past life and a past experience and a deep connection to this cat. Animals can be our soulmates. 100%. I've had a few animals that connect to me at a very deep level. So they can have that connection. Um, Bianca, I'm having some vivid dreams. Is spirit trying to communicate with me? The other day I woke up hearing pyrite. It was almost as if it wanted me to wear the crystal. A lot of times our dreams hold many, many, many messages. When a dream is that crisp and that clear with the message, I always just lean in there and trust it. If you get a message to wear a certain crystal, there's going to be a reason for it. I also kind of look at dreams, maybe not with this one in particular, but I also kind of look at dreams from the perspective of what haven't I fully processed in my waking time, because we do take things to bed with us, and when we sleep with things, energy, because we do sleep with energy, it can manifest into a kind of bit of a distortion. And I always kind of look at that and say, does that dream reflect what's been happening in my life, yes or no? And then I kind of lean in there a little bit with, I need to process more of my time in the physical world. I'm a big journaler. I like to journal or talk to spirit about my day before I go lights out. Just because I really don't want to process things when I'm sleeping. I would rather do it in my waking time, just because of the distortion quite often. But that does feel like a message, 100%. Um, yes, he was very human. Yeah, that's how he felt to me, PJ. It felt very human when I tapped in there energetically. I felt that human presence there. Um, Lots of questions here this morning. I used to get that sleep paralysis is scary. I wonder if Lana's ever experienced it. Um, I haven't experienced sleep paralysis. I do a lot of astral in my travel in my sleep time. And I have learned with astral travel how to navigate through a lot of the cosmos and a lot of the information that I do get from astral traveling. Um, I tend to spend more time awake with my guides so that I don't have that connection in my sleep. So when it comes and one thing with channeling and with connection, if you learn to do it when you're awake, then the messages tend not to come when we're sleeping. There's a few things with dreams and sleep paralysis, and is there can be that distortion, and then when we wake up we're processing it and we only remember bits and pieces of it. So I tend to do all that work when I'm awake. And when you think about it, a lot of messages we get from the angelics or a lot of messages that we get from people who have passed, the reason they're connecting with you is because your brain shut down. You're sleeping. So your brain's not interrupting you saying this isn't real or that's not real or you're making this up. That's why they will come to us in our dreams. So I always make time for spirit and because I shut them off when I'm sleeping. But I make time for them when I'm awake. So I would start a practice of every morning, sitting for 10 minutes. I just simply sit for 10 minutes and I quiet my mind and I just ask what I need. What do I need to know? What do you want to tell me? Yeah. And I do that at bedtime as well. I also process the day before I go to sleep. It's really important to process your day. We don't take time to process. We truly don't. When you think about the chaos of our day, many of us are very busy and it's like one thing after the other. Time, every hour can be accounted for. And then all of a sudden it's lights out and we haven't taken the time to process that. And that can take us into dream states that have very distorted meanings or spirits trying to connect to us in our dream. And we are either going too deep into that dream time or we don't understand the translation of it. I do some dream analysis. I do not so much as work. Thing is that we're not processing a lot of it. Oh, I lost my connection there. A lot of it is because we haven't processed. Sorry, I lost my connection there. Must be a little bit windy outside here. Okay. Will I ever find out who my biological father was? I was told he has passed, but I heard different. He's a different man than my sister's dad. So when I lean into this, some I feel a lot of unknown here. I feel with this question, either someone isn't 100% sure is how I'm seeing that. There's a lot of fog and a lot of questioning there. Um, when I connect, I feel I lean more to the spirit dimensions. I lean more there. I lean more that he's passed. But I think that in the physical world, I think that there's some unknown there. I also feel though that I have to lean in here a little bit. There is a father figure that you connected to in the physical world as like a dad or like a father. I feel there's a connection there. I feel that bond. Does that make sense to you? Um, let's see. Maroon, I found a white feather with an orange tip, which is unusual in my area. Is this a sign? Absolutely. When I lean into when we find spirit signs, when we find, feathers, nickels, dimes, pennies, when we, angel numbers, when it gets our attention, I always lean in there and trust it. I always lean in there and trust it. I feel with this feather, I really feel like I have to say to you that you're not alone, that you're loved and that you're supported. So, I feel like you've been struggling with a little bit of loneliness or feeling alone, a little bit of not feeling supported, and I feel that the feather is to get your attention, to bring your awareness that you are very loved and very supported and held up in the spirit dimensions. I feel like you need to know that you're being held up. I just see this, like, these hands from the angelics just holding you up. You're held. You're held. So I hope that resonates with you. Sometimes I keep hearing this lonely vibration. So I don't know if you've been feeling alone or just feeling a little bit lonely. But that's a very strong message from the spirit dimensions that you are 100% supported. I hope that that resonates to you, Heather. Any message from my spirit guides? Heather, I feel I keep getting new lenses when I'm reading that. Spiritual lenses, not glasses by any means, but I feel like you're getting new spiritual lenses. I feel like you're coming into this space, or you're just entered into this space of seeing things a bit differently, because I see your physical world eyes turning into more of a spiritual perspective, of being able to see things broader, to be able to see things deeper, to be able to see into things from more, it's almost like how you're seeing things now is going to get broader, more of a spiritual perspective, more of seeing the whole picture. And I think that you're going to be learning how to navigate through some of that, because I almost feel you a little bit surprised with how you're seeing things. But you're with this, and as a spirit guide that's bringing you this new perspective, these new lenses on seeing the whole thing, and rather than what's just right in front of you. So Heather, as you navigate through the days, the weeks, the months, just kind of ask spirit to show me what I really need to see, to work with me, teach me how to see things differently. And it feels quite exciting for me. Danielle, do you happen to know what the color orange represents? I've been having dreams with that color occasionally, and it sticks onto me. One thing with color is I feel when I lean into that, what does the color orange signify? Orange can have a few meanings. Number one, I feel like the orange is trying to ground you. I'm really in that grounding. I feel like it's trying to get you more and more and more grounded. Um, so I hope that resonates there with you, Bianca or Danielle. Um, Hannah, I'm in the process of looking for a new job. Any guidance from spirit regarding this? I'm leaning into, and I've probably heard me say this before. I'm leaning into the whole visualization of new doors of opportunity open for you. I think you need to tap into that. New doors, just visualizing new doors of opportunity, and simply allowing yourself to explore and experience. I think it's going to be a bit of a shift into what you've done in the past. I think that there's going to be like a new opportunity to try something new, and I kind of have to get you into that momentum. I have to kind of get you with every time you open the fridge door or a cupboard door, visualizing a great job, a new opportunity in there for you. I need to get you in that momentum. I also need you to really focus on forward momentum. I don't know if you keep leaning back into past experience or leaning back into what worked before, but it kind of ties back into that new story that we need to start working on. I need to get you to tell yourself this new story. I also feel your worthiness. I need to kind of like just kind of fluff that up a little bit. I need to tap into, you are worthy of great things. You are worthy of new opportunities. You are worthy of a fresh beginning, that you're worthy of new people. I just have to lean in there a little bit. I think sometimes we all struggle with that a little bit, but I really feel I needed to give you that push to leaning in there. Bianca, interesting. I've had many channeling done in my dreams. It's great advice, and for daily spiritual practices, we're always on the go. There you go. I got to watch the time here though, you guys. I've got in-person sessions today. Um and I got about a 15-minute drive. So um my guides send me messages through rainbows. I love that. Yeah. I think I want to tap into messages for a moment before I have to let you go. When it comes to when our spirit guides and our spirit council sending us messages, they are pretty relentless. And one thing that often comes up with spirit signs, the spirit will say, we showed you here and you overthought it, or we showed you this way and you didn't want to pick it up. And that's okay. But one thing that really helps is to ask, ask, ask. I talk about that all the time. Keep talking to your spirit guides. Keep asking. Keep in that playful vibration with them. Keep leaning in there with I'm open for change. Can you guide me? Can you show me? And once you get the sign, embrace it. Don't let this take over. Don't let the thought process of, oh, that's just a rainbow or it's just a feather or that happens. Yeah, most people see that. Just kind of with gratitude, thank you. I'm learning to understand that. And one thing with spirit is I'll often say, I'm not understanding that. Can you turn it up? Can you clear it up? Can you make it a little bit more in tuned, right? And constantly stay in the asking. But when we ask, I want to add that you got to be open to hear, because sometimes when I'll say to spirit, okay, can you show me this, or can you help me with this, or can I lean in with this? When we don't get what we don't want, you've got to be willing to accept that too. If you're asking for something for your highest good, you've got to lean in there and free fall and trust. You've got to free fall and trust. Spirit has said no to me a few times, and many times, and like a little kid, sometimes that inner child within me is like, yeah, but I want to, but I want to do it now, and why can't I? And we do have the choice and free will in navigating through that. But one thing that I have learned, that if I don't listen and trust, it's probably going to get a little messy for me. And there's the learning too. There's the learning. There are many times I thought, okay, I get it now. It's not in alignment for me right now. All right. Um, I know this has been a little bit of a short conversation. I do have to get to work. I've got like I said, some in-person sessions this morning that I can't be late for. I will try and tune in again in the next couple days. I'm also looking at my calendar to try and do either a live like this, or maybe another Zoom live. Then that'd be fine. I think we're due. I really think we're due. So I will get that posted on the community page as soon as I can, and we can hang out and chat a little bit longer. As always, this is a beautiful community. Bianca, I love this community. I absolutely love you all. It has been an incredible journey for me. It's just so loving and kind and embracing. It's like a family. It's like our little tribe that's always open to newcomers and supportive, and it's exactly how it needs to be. Kind and loving and supportive. I am wishing you, as always, love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Take care, everyone.